going live. It hasn't. Now I'm live, right? What's up, everyone? Dave Dudley here, and this is going to be a common theme. I'm trying to come up with a series of live streams where we actually are doing question and answers where you guys, it's almost like I was talking to Luke Duncan today, and it's almost like talking to me on the phone, except on a live chat. So, guys, this is a time when you can ask questions. You can, just make them available. And actually, I got to get on here and figure out, guys, I'm not that smart when it comes to. So I got to click comments. All right, here we are. Upstate Angler. All right, I see y'all chiming in. So we're going to let them come in. So what I'm going to tell you about today is this is a series I'm going to start, okay? And when I start this, it's just me lending my knowledge or just my thoughts or whatever it may be to let you guys actually pick my brain. And it's a no limits thing. Now, I may see a question come across here, and I might not answer your question. Of course, the best way to get your questions answered is if you throw a little bit of incentive in there. So I'm going to read your questions as they come in. But tonight, it's pretty cool. Tonight, I got, I want to see if you can see this. So we got these. We're going to be doing a giveaway, and these are actually already pre-signed and ready. I got the actual envelopes with the stamp on it, and your name and address can go right there. So we're going to be giving that away. It's pretty cool. Like, one of them's from 2016, I think. It's just a series of cards that I got extras of, so I figured you guys might want to be interested in them. What's up? I see some of y'all regular. M. Jones, Hampton, Mitchell, Ryan, Scott, Kevin. I see you guys coming in already. Todd, you're always up there. Hampton. I see some questions coming in. Guys, I know this has nothing to do with fishing, but I watched that video of that guy. What's that guy's name where that police officer knelt down on his head? Man, I had to quit watching that, man. My heart was aching for that dude. Aching. And I know if any of y'all have seen that video, man, if your heart don't ache on something like that, that is like just totally just disturbing to watch. So my thoughts and prayers go out to that family and that situation, because that's horrible. What's up in the news right now? I think if you've been following anything on the internet, actually, Evinrude has surrendered their motors now. I think Mercury, what I read is Mercury Motors are going to be taking over Evinrude, the E-Techs, they're quit making those motors right now, and I think Mercury's going to honor all their warranty stuff. Pretty big deal. Oh, M. Jones comes in with, what is your favorite ledge bait? Mark Jones has been a big supporter of the channel forever, so I appreciate your support. Favorite ledge bait? And here's something I want to talk to y'all about. So it's a great question. Crankbaits, and I did a video on this, but I'm going to have to say some type of swim bait, something that's more, and a swim bait is more of a finesse bait, Mark. Or no, I think it's Mike. Is it Mark? Mark Jones? I can't remember. You're going to kill me. But when it comes to deep water fishing, there's going to be two baits that are going to be on my deck at all times. One is a drop shot, and I like MM3. I like Morning Dawn, and I like Oxblood Red Light. Those, when it comes to drop shotting. When it comes to a swim bait, I like Rainbow Shad when it is sunny outside, and I love Pearl pearl blue red. What is that color? Pearl blue red for when it's cloudy. I don't know what it is about that color, man, but it is just a phenomenal color. Swim baits, I'm more along the 4.3s and the 3.8s. My son makes the jig heads that I throw, but those are, if I had to give it, when it comes to cranking, Mark, I don't know, man. I throw crankbaits and you can bust some big ones on it, but day in, day out, that swim bait and a drop shot are going to be and if you actually go back and look, like some of Randy Haynes, you looking at the Scrounger, those type things, just, I don't know, man. Just plastic technology has just been a dominating force nowadays. So I see Sean, it says, good luck back on the MLF tour. I've tried to message you on Instagram to get those swim bait heads, but no reply. I will respond to you, Sean. I promise you. I will respond to that for you. Zach, Sean in the house. How do you find deep bass deep with only a cheap depth finder or no depth finders at all? It's pretty hard, Mitchell. Back in the day, you had paper maps, and paper maps, you just used your 2D to ride and get a general idea. And if you get a general idea with the paper map, you can kind of zigzag back and forth, find the tip of a point or something like that, and typically you can find them that way. Dave's Fishing is talking about coon hunting. I'm really going to get distracted if we talk about coon hunting. Fairgrounds, man. No, I've never been to any hunts, Dave. I don't like going. I do enough competition anyways. I've heard a lot of stuff about coon huntings where they argue, fuss, and fight. I don't think my stress level could take a coon hunt. But ripping lips, you always have been a big supporter of the channel. Can we go fishing? Man, we need to get together and go fishing for sure. I see M. Jones. If you got another question, chime on in. You supporting, so we got Christopher. What's up, DD? Any strategy techniques you favor after a thunderstorm? I'll tell you a pretty cool story, Christopher, talking about storms and things that are coming in. I was at Lake Murray in South Carolina years ago, and it was thunderstorming and raining and all kinds of stuff. And it was when you could look across the lake and you could see a rain cloud coming in over there. I literally went chasing the rain clouds with a black buzzbait. And while it was raining, I could go in any pocket I would pull into as long as it was raining. And I could make just a lap in that pocket. And I would, catch 2 or 3. And then when that rain started fading away, it was going down the lake, I would chase it, get ahead of the storm, pull in a pocket. So I was actually running a raining pattern because I was catching them in the rain. So you can actually chase the storms like storm chasers, but I was actually chasing a storm with a black buzzbait on Lake Murray one time. That was a pretty cool question. Matt. Sean M. Jones, but my name is Matt. Matt, how many times have I got that mixed up? I know a Mark Jones, so I always get confused with Mark. So Thomas again, how did you do turkey hunting? I never got that sucker, Thomas. I really didn't, man. For y'all that follow me on Instagram, I had this turkey that was just teasing me, gobbling, and I never got him to come in. So he won this year, but I'm going to get him this fall for sure. What's up, JP Mahaffey? Do you ever? Yeah, I do, JP. I go 2 or 3 times a year. I know me and you we've been down there before. I think smallmouth fishing. A lot of small ones that not as big as they used to be, but a lot of smaller ones. And let's see here, Justin. If you went to Wheeler Lake in Alabama in June and had one day to practice, what would you do? Lake Wheeler in Alabama. Uh, that's a good question. If you only had one day of practice, uh, I don't know if they got any good grass down there around Decatur Flats, but I would have to look around Decatur Flat area. If I couldn't find them in any grass out in the Decatur Flat area, I would probably head up river and pick a creek and stay in it at all times. Is probably what I would do. Let's see. Hey, David, you don't have to qualify to become. All right. So Leslie Mosley asked. Ooh, Todd's coming in. Leslie asked, "Do you don't have to qualify?" Leslie, that's kind of a broad statement when people say that you're a pro angler. To me, there's only really two levels. Like you have the Bassmaster Elites and you have the MLF now, which is kind of considered the top tier tour, which you have to qualify for. Anything below that, I kind of consider AAA, college, high school, and just that doesn't mean that there's not some guys who are skilled enough in a let's just say a club level that it's just like in any other sport. Leslie, you have people who are good enough to play basketball, good enough to play professional baseball, but they just never had a chance. So, but it is a qualifying round. Todd, all right, Todd Lauren, he's been a big support. Here's Jeff. You got a question for me, Todd? Chime it on in, Todd. I will answer your question ASAP. Jeff Holland, how active are bass on topwater before the spawn? I have not had much success until post-spawn. Phenomenal question there, Jeff. Phenomenal question. Actually, when the water hits 50 to 55 degrees, topwater can actually be good. And what happens is that the fish come up to the surface and they start sunning. But then when the fish start spawning, they kind of go back down. So actually, when that water hits 50, actually with what they call a wake bait, so 50 to 55, Jeff, it can actually be very good. And then for some reason, when they start spawning, it peters out. Now, when the shad start spawning and the bass have their fry, then topwater dominates again. But it's very important that you pay attention to that temperature level during that time. That's a phenomenal question, Jeff. I appreciate it. Upstate Angler, you're always a big supporter. When fish are on beds, but you can't physically see them, what is the best baits and technique to... Okay, Upstate Angler, I'll answer that one real quickly for you. When the water is pretty stained, don't get caught up in colors that much. When bass are on the bed, they're being protective, and when you can't see them, some people swear by this color, that color. When this water is pretty stained, you can pretty much take any color, but the number one key is to work your bait slowly and imagine that your bait is coming through the bed. Great question on that. Peepaw is coming in. Best advice for a 21-year-old who has moved states, quit job, and dedicated life to tournament levels to get where they are in bass fishing. Ooh, Peepaw, that's a loaded question. I don't want to sound cliche, but time on the water. But if you know any skilled anglers, like somebody who's very successful might be close to you, the best thing to do is maybe try to go fish with them, learn from them. Time on the water is going to do it. You got YouTube. You can always go to YouTube and find that kind of stuff. But just it's a lot of things you can do to learn. But basically, people, that the more you spend time on the water. Now, here's something I want you to understand. You've heard this statement before that says practice makes perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect performance, okay? You can still be on the water and not be in tune with what's going on around you, okay? You can still be there and be like not flowing through the motions, not going in the right direction, and not thinking your day through, not thinking out the weather, not thinking out certain things, and not be able to present your bait in the right manner. And then next thing you know, you come off the water, you didn't catch nothing, and you're frustrated. You have to do the right thing when you're on the water in order to grow and to become a better person. So a fisherman. So good question, Todd. In 2 feet clear, generally speaking, how much does fluorocarbon help as being somewhat invisible versus mono? All right, Todd, great question. Get a little bit more. I mean, in 2 feet, in water 2 feet clear, generally speaking, how much does fluorocarbon help as being somewhat invisible versus? Okay, so here's my thought online, Todd. When I choose line, I'm not choosing line because I think fish see, like, they come down, look, and they're looking, they're like, if that was 16-pound test, I would bite it. Line choice for me, so I reckon I can answer it. Line choice for me is all about getting the right fall with your bait or getting your bait in the right depth. I don't think bass are focused in. It's like an Alabama rig. Think about this, Todd. An Alabama rig has these, 40 gauge wires, big swivels, big snaps, big heads. It looks all crazy. And here we are, worried about where we went from 6 to 8 pound test. Bass don't really see line. It's just, my choice of line size is literally about how I want my bait to work. So for example, I would, I'm using 20, 25 pound on a spinnerbait. I just trump it with big line because I can use a bigger spinnerbait. They're not looking at the line, so it doesn't matter. So just my choice of line is typically going to be with a spinnerbait. The size of a spinnerbait. Matt Jones, would you target grass edges or ledges on Gunnersville right now? Yeah, edges are, I don't care, Matt, if it is the grass is just starting to grow or the grass is up high. Edges are highways. They're always going to be fish moving along edges of grass. I don't care what time of year it is. So yes, they're pretty much done spawning. So yes, it would be a good one. James Stanley, I think you commented on one of my social media pages about doing the bluegill spawn. How many of y'all want to learn about the bluegill spawn? Because it's pretty interesting. Hey, so for all of you guys that have, joined in, I'm going to show you guys, and I did this earlier. I'm going to be giving away. So here's an old one already autographed and signed. Here's another one already autographed and signed. These are all different years. Here's another one. So all four of these are signed, and I actually have already pre-labeled that I'm going to put these inside as a giveaway. So we can do a giveaway right now. So let's do it this way. I think the best way to do it is when I say, if you want one, just say you want one. I'm going to scroll on the screen and just randomly pick something. Now, you're going to have to DM me on Instagram. Make sure you do it tonight so I can put these in there, give them away. If you want to personalize them, just do a little bit an incentive, and I can personalize them to somebody that you want. So if you want one, just say, I want one. I'm going to wait a little bit and see them come up, and I might scroll up and I might scroll down to see if you wanted one. But it's pretty cool to get all four of them in one. I have a bunch of them, so if you want one, make sure you chime in. I'm going to look at another question right here. It said, Luke Garcia, you made it, man. You made it. I think, Luke, you just bought some of my rods, I think. I'm going to wait about 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to randomly pick. And I got four of these ready to give away. So, let's see here. I'm going to put the stamp. I'm going to put the stamp on these now. Here we go. All right, here we go. So I got four pre-labeled, pre-stamped, already go for you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to randomly close my eyes so you don't know I'm cheating. I'm going to get my mouse kind of close. All right, so I'm scrolling back. Here. Oops, hold on. I needed to highlight blue. Dadgummit, I lost it. Hold on. I got to pull my... All right, here we go. I got to do my eyes closed to make it fair because I'm kind of partial. All right, Kevin Fitzgerald. You got the first one right there. Kevin Fitzgerald. Make sure you DM me on Instagram. So look, here we go. Kevin Fitzgerald, you got 4 autographed cards going in there. And I'm actually going to put your name on it right now. So, Kevin Fitzgerald. All right, Kevin. As you can see, it's already labeled. So now all I need is your address. And I got 4 more to give away. So let's start back with some questions. And I know a lot of these questions are coming in, and it's hard for me to read every single one of them. So incentive is always going to get your question answered for sure. But I will try to get those questions. Again, guys, I got another stack of them ready, labeled right here for you. All right, so here we go. Who's got a question for me? Luke Garcia, can you do a video on your rods? I recently purchased 2 and they seem amazing, but I cannot find any information on it. Luke, which 2 rods did you get? Which 2 rods did you get? Every day I fish, let me know what 2 rods you get, and I'll tell you what I use them for, Luke. Eric asks, every day I fish, I'm not getting any bites. I always jump to a Cinco and my confidence bait. What do you recommend? Any other lures? Eric, I would get into the swim bait world, the Kitech world, 2.8s, 3.3s, 3.8s, and 4.3s. Eric, my son makes some jig heads specifically for when I say Kitech, I mean like a boot tail swim bait, not hollow bellies, but boot tail swim baits. That's what what's up, Scott? Ryan, we still want to. Savage Martin says, Savage Martin, hey David, do you have any bait casting combos for you to give away? Uh, Good thought. I didn't think to do that, but Savage, we might do that in the next episode. Um, Midwest says great trimming on the interior skirt. Help paddle tails kick properly. I agree. I put Z-Man E-skirts on any of my huge difference in the paddle tail. Yeah, what Midwest is talking about is I did a video on one of my it was like a spinnerbait hack where I cut it's almost cutting the inside of the skirt to allow water to flow through the skirt to allow the boot tail to kick. And if you haven't seen that video, of course you can go back and watch that video for sure. But Luke, proficient all-purpose white and blue can. All right, Luke, my all-purpose rod is the 7'2" medium heavy. Guys, if you're not familiar with Proficiency rods, it took me 2 years to develop these rods. If you check them out on proficiencyrods.com, my all-purpose rod, I do everything from spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, Texas rig, top water, anything you're casting, square bills, everything that you're doing a lot of casting with, even if you're doing a weightless Cinco, skipping a jig up underneath docks, that is my all-time purpose rod, is that rod. And the 7'2" medium heavy spinning rod, which I developed, it took me a while to get the tip of that rod right, is the one I use for the wacky worm. So it looks like, Kevin, you DM'd me. I will for sure get your address for that. Eric's chiming in and saying, give away a DD hat. So actually, I got David Dudley Outdoors hat. Who would want a what about a sweaty, dirty DD hat? That would be kind of, you got one that's actually broken in by DD himself. Jeff Holland says, how do you like the new trolling motor? For sure, that trolling motor is phenomenal. I'm going to give it the phenomenal. You guys know I'm a straight shooter. It truly is a phenomenal bait. What is your favorite spotted bass bait? Golly, I'm going to have to go with, probably a Kitek, Hampton, probably a Kitek for sure. How would you approach Lake Hartwell this weekend? Hartwell, you can always catch them shallow at Hartwell. I would probably go around all the bluegill beds for sure. B. Bailey says, absolutely not. Yeah. When you steal it, look, when we room together next week, I'm going to watch you, and I guarantee you're going to try to take my hat and put it on you. If any of y'all don't know Bailey Boutries, he is a up-and-coming angler. I know who he is, and we actually room together. So if you're not familiar with him, go online and follow him. Let's see. What reels do you recommend for your gear ratio? Mitchell, I use Revos. I got a buffet of reels, but I am partial to Revos, and my all-purpose gear ratio is 7.3. It's just, that's like your all-purpose. Now, when you get to higher gear ratios, you guys know it. That's basically dealing with flipping or things like that. So for sure, 7.3 is my all-purpose gear ratio. Revos. Let's see here. Mitchell says he'll pay for that hat. This one even has a David Dudley sweat smell in it, man. Oh man, who's got some more questions? Midwest Fisherman, do you fish super clean water, and how would you attack 20-foot visibility water? I fish Lake Michigan shoreline. Midwest Fisherman, I assume you're going to have a lot of. It's hard to beat that darn Ned rig, man. That Ned rig is just phenomenal in clean water. I need to have me one of those green cups. What's that guy, Duck Dynasty? Remember watching during the Duck Dynasty days? That guy, he'd always sip on the green cup. The older guy, I forgot his name, but that was like his signature cup, and I think he actually ended up selling them online. But all right, guys, I know a lot of questions are coming in. If you want to make sure I answer your question, you could do an incentive, and I'll make sure I read your question for sure. How do you use electronics to find post-spawn bass? What are you looking for while driving around? Eric, you're going to be looking for dots, like the size of a Sharpie, and you're going to have to graph basically 12 foot or deeper to see them. But it's hard for me to answer that question really quick, but for sure, electronics are. I would be if you took my electronics, Lawrence's away from me, I'd be lost. All right, here we go. We're gonna give giveaway number 2. So I gotta gather up all the cards here. Make sure I get them all so I can put them in there. There's that one, and I'm missing one. Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. Here's all 4 cards. And again, I got the pre-packaged or already ready for your address. So if you want one, here comes giveaway number 2. And I actually didn't sign this one, so I got to sign this one. Autographing. So if you want one, make sure you chime in and say, I want one. And maybe you will be drawn for it. So you're going to have to DM me on that. Luke Garcia says, are the Deadly Dudley? No, they're not. That I have been asked that, Luke, so many times, man. So many times I've been asked that. They are not mine. But I've heard a lot of questions come in about it. Thank you, Luke, for your support, man. You've always been a great supporter. Buying the rods, doing all that stuff. All right, so all 4 are signed right now, okay? All 4 are signed right there. All 4 are signed. Yeah, my fat fingers are in it. So I'm going to put this in there. Here we go, putting it in. All 4 are in. And I'm just going to do the old close my eyes and pick one. So here we go. I don't know if I can. All right, here goes right now. Leslie Mosley. Leslie Mosley, you are the winner. And I'm going to write that name down. You saw where it clicked. So it's Leslie Mosley. All right. Leslie Mosley, DM me on Instagram, and I will get you your package. Let's go ahead and do one more real quick because I got 4 of them to give away, and I want to give them away. So here's another one. Keep them coming. I'm collecting all of them right now, putting them in. You guys have been awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So keep them coming. I got to sign one more. Here we go. Have any of y'all caught any big bass this year? I mean, the ramps have been freaking loaded full of fishermen this whole year. So I know you guys have got to have been able to do a lot of fishing and catch some big ones. So Here we go. Here comes. I think these date back to 2016. So here's 4 more autographed and ready to go. And here we go, putting them in. It's ready to be mailed out tomorrow. Again, DM me on Instagram, and I am going to close my eyes and I gotta get my little thing close by. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Golly, it's going Scott Clark. All right, Scott Clark, you are the winner of. Oops, I think I put Scoot. I think I spelt your name Scoot, but Scott Clark. Oh, I suck at spelling. All right, you are prime. DM me. It'll go in the mail tomorrow for that one. All right, I got one more giveaway. We're going to give that away in 5 minutes. So if you got a question, 5 more minutes, I will try to answer your question about what you want. So Jeff Hollins, I caught all the little bass so the kids can catch the big ones. Ah, you caught all the little bass. I hear you, Jeff. Cole Parrish, 6.3 on Lake Mantosh, North Carolina this past weekend. Good job, Cole. That's some big ones, man. I don't even know if I've caught one over 7 this year. No, here lately since COVID. I don't even think I caught one in Lake Fork either. How was fishing on Erie? Saw you were in my neck of the fishing was pretty good. We went out smallmouth fishing, then a cold front came through and we tried to fish for the largemouth. We didn't do that well. So anyways, all right, let's see here. Dave, favorite shaky head worm. Dave, I'm going to have to go with Zoom. They got a good worm. Actually, the Berkeley bottom hopper is a pretty good worm. It actually doesn't have salt in it, but it's got the, it stands up pretty well. Charles Whitehurst. Hey, David, what do you do with your used rods and reel when you're done with? Yeah, I actually do. I sell them, Charles. I sell them at the end of the year, but the end of the year looks like it's going to be November for us. So if you hit me up, guys, late in the year and you're wanting some of my rods towards the end of the year, you can definitely put your chance of getting some of my used equipment in there. Luke Garcia comes in, started airbrushing. What's your favorite pattern? I love gray and silver. Gray backed, whatever, crankbaits with silver and a white bottom. That's one of my favorite colors. Sean, what do you recommend for smallies offshore on Lake Michigan, Chicago side? It's hard. There's 3 baits when it comes to smallmouth fishing: drop shot, Ned head, and a Kotek. Those 3 are just phenomenal colors. Let's see here. Braid or fluoro for spinning reel for cranking. I use 15-pound braid and go straight to typically 10-pound fluorocarbon. 10 pounds. So we're going to give away the last one. And guys, what time fits you guys best? Like, I want to keep this going if we can, do some live episodes. What time fits you guys the best? Let me know, and I will try to make that time. I did 8:30. Haven't looked at the numbers to see how strong 8:30 was, but we're definitely going to get some try to pick a time that works best for you guys. And guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, because it really helps grow the channel when you guys hit the thumbs up. I know I'm asking you to do something, but a lot of times when I watch videos, I always try to hit thumbs up on everybody's video that I watch, because it does take a lot of time and effort to produce videos. And when you guys hit that thumbs up button, it does mean a lot to us. And when I say us YouTubers, you know, us YouTubers, it does do a lot for incentives and things like that. So, all right, so this is the last giveaway right here. And let's see, you can see them all. I think I go back, I actually got a bunch more, and I didn't think of this until late. So next time, I'm going to probably try to get all 10 years of cards and get them and put all 10 of them in there, which takes a lot of time. So if you guys are wanting this, say, I want one. Luke Garcia, just wanted to thank you for all you do for us. You true legend in my book. Humbled by that comment, Luke, man. Humbled. Thank you, Luke, man. Thank you for your support, guys. Thank you for all your support. So let's get this last one going. Again, I need to write a name on this, and they're all going in there. So here we go. I'm putting them in there. DM me on Instagram. DM me on Instagram, and here we go. Oh, man. Here we go. I'm going to close my eye and just click. Ready? I never know when I'm going to do it, so keep trying. Keep trying, keep trying. I got to get my mouse right there. Ready, set, stop. Red light, green light, stop. Ready, go. Luke! Dude, that was truly random, man. That's awesome. Luke Garcia, that was cool, man. You saw where it highlighted your name, man. Luke Garcia. I'm actually going to personalize another one for you there, Luke. You've been such a great supporter of the channel. So Luke Garcia comes in with it. I'm actually watching the delayed version on it. Luke Garcia scores it. Guys, I appreciate all your support. I really do. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure you hit the notification button, because I'm going to be doing these lives a lot more often. And you guys have been so good to me. So I am going to end this video now. I'm going to look at my Instagram, get your address, and these will go out tomorrow. Thank you guys, and I am out.